And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mozette, and here's your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mozette, and welcome to episode 709, a special double edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams this week. And hey, what can I tell you? When we double the pleasure, we double the fun. Or we double the pain, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Let's meet the posse for this episode first. Welcome back, the yin to my yang, Matt from Merry Old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Fantastic, Matt. How are you, sir?
I've got a little bit of a cold. We're struggling through. You know, we're managing. We're British, so we just put a smile on it and send Spitfires over. I'm absolutely fine. Come back from Cornwall. Had a great time down there, down in the south part of England, where all the clotted cream and scones and cream and jam come from. It was a lovely time.
Fantastic. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you're back safe and sound. We missed you.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah, and even though he was here, we also missed Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, I know this is a football podcast, but I just want to take a moment and say, long live the king. We appreciate you, Felix. Last night was awesome. I hope you decide to retire and are not ever in another uniform.
Yeah, I hope so for your sake, too. I enjoyed seeing the highlights that I, myself, as a Reds fan, Marty Brenneman, who's done the Reds broadcast for 47 years, I think it is. Growing up listening to Marty Brenneman in the summer as a kid and seeing him do his last broadcast was pretty emotional too. So I kind of felt your emotions there, Seattle fans. But yeah,
I tell you what, if you haven't seen the highlights, even if you're not a Mariners fan, you should look up Felix's last game, dude. That was awesome.
I agree.
When anyone says "God save the king," I immediately have to stand up. It's a nightmare.
It's state law. You gotta do it. And then, of course, the man behind Enemy Line Stats Man, Mark. Hi, Mark. Welcome back from Tahoe.
Yes, oh boy, yeah, that was a fun trip. Yes, I'm going to go on record. I got to admit, I had literally 28 individual parlays and teasers at $10 a pop. And,
My goodness.
So if you do the math, it was not such a great thing. I would trade all that in. I'd pay that every week for a Seahawk victory.
Amen.
But unfortunately, that was not that didn't happen either. But
and that also explains why you had to hitchhike on the way home. But
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, Mark, real quick, listen to this bet. My buddy found out I was tailgating last weekend. He had Seahawks at 25-1 in Vegas to win the Super Bowl. He put down $750.
Oh Lord!
Yeah.
Oh my Lord!
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope
we don't
wins.
condone any of this, by the way.
Loving the commitment.
Yeah, but Mark, welcome back. I'm glad you made it one piece. I'm glad everybody's here. Fortunately, our newshound Will could not be with us. He is apparently out trying to find Cajun Man, who is loose in the Pacific Northwest after last week. So hopefully Cajun Man will be found and sent back to where he belongs, which is probably never on this show again. Hey, let's get to this show, shall we, sweet? All right, this show is just like a real NFL football game. We have 4 quarters and a halftime. First quarter will be news, usually with Will. It'll be with me. Second quarter, we're going to recap that Saints game. We have to do it. And, of course, our Posse Prediction Challenge. Always a fun time. At halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. I refer to 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
I did a little research. Did a little work this week for this show, and one of the things I did is I went back and I looked at the last 3 champions of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. 706 Matt won, 707 Mark won, and 708 Dustin won. So here we are at 709. Will's not here, but the last 3 champions are all here.
Ooh,
yeah. Little
That's the real reason Will's not on the show tonight.
That's why we told Will to stay home now.
yeah.
A little different this week, quarter 3 and quarter 4, because we record on Fridays. We'll have two games between this recording and next Friday's recording. So we're going to do predictions for both games, which is hard to do when you have one game you haven't played and you're trying to pick another one. But it doesn't really bother us because we suck at this anyway. Quarter 3, Cardinals predictions. We'll do the Cardinal predictions, and then quarter 4 we'll do our Rams predictions. So a little different ending to this show because it's our double episode. But before we start, of course, Please like, share, and subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We do a great game day thread on there. We put all our information from this show on there during the game day thread so you can compare your scores and predictions with ours. We're on Twitter at Seahawk Positivity. We're on email. Look for a downloadable podcast of this very show on iTunes and Podbean. But let's get to the first quarter and news. Yes, news from around the NFL by me. Brought to you by this week's sponsor, the Chris Carson football cleat ice skates. Never stand on solid ground again when you wear your Chris Carson football cleat ice skates. But switch them out, but keep the same shoes. Moses, what you got for us? Well, thanks for asking, Moses. I just have a couple quick ones. Dak Prescott, apparently, during last week's Dallas Cowboy 31-6 win against the Miami Dolphins in AT&T Stadium on Sunday, was heard on an NFL microphone talking about the Nuggets' return to the fast food restaurant Wendy's in the middle of a huddle after calling a play. Have the audio. He calls a play and he says, "Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I might have to stop on the way home and get some." I'm not making this up. This is not doctored video. This is audio, real audio that NFL Films caught. If you can hear, here we go.
Skip the flank right stack, 32 Sam, alert X foot. Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I might have to stop on the way home.
Did you catch the end?
That's got to be a call.
I'll play. No, you can see him talking to the guys out there. I'm going to do it again. And the second part, there's pause. He goes, "Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I'm going to have to stop on the way home."
Skip the flank right stack, 32 Sam, alert X foot. Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I might have to stop on the way home.
I swear to God, this is what this guy did during a game. When you're playing Miami.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I'm sorry. I think that's pretty awesome.
Has it already gone viral? Because now that's just awesome publicity for
Wendy's. Oh my God! And Wendy's Twitter is one of the funniest Twitters out there. You know they're all over this.
Oh, he's going to get a sponsorship from Wendy's.
Oh yeah. So okay, now he apparently talked it down, and he said, "I think I just saw an ad, and I said it out loud. Unfortunately, I didn't get the nuggets," which is even a funnier quote.
Get the nuggets.
And I'm just thinking. I actually think this is pretty funny. I think this is pretty awesome. So Dak, people gonna be throwing nuggets at him at stadiums and
still frozen ones.
Oh, boy,
that is pretty cool. However, they're not going to be able to use that play again all season, which is kind of funny. Because they called out the entire verbiage of the plays there, so any NFL team is going to be able to see hear what they said, and then look at the formations and see what they did.
But what if the Nuggets at Wendy's thing was some sort of kills call to do something completely different?
Well, Jared Goff, you ever listen to him when he's at the line, he's yelling like, "Obama, Obama." Tupac, he's yelling stuff like that. I swear to God.
Just seems inappropriate.
Now he's going to piss off defenses even more. He can't be talking about.
Well, yeah, because some of them defensive ends are quite big and chunky. Now they're going to be hungry. So if you start talking about fast food at the line, they're going to start falling over themselves.
Wendy's, quarter pounder, Big Mac.
Bring the beef.
With cheese.
All right. So, I guess a lot of people should be angry about that are Miami Dolphin fans. Our team's so bad that the other team's quarterback's thinking about Wendy's nuggets during the game. I brought this one on because this is a personal favorite of mine. We don't have Johnny Manziel anymore in the news. So, but we do have Manziel 2.0, which is Baker Mayfield. And so apparently about a month ago, Baker was, on magazine covers and shotgunning beers and posing with tigers and photo shoots. This was all true. And the Browns were supposed to be this great team. Well, they're 1-2, and he's thrown 5 interceptions. So it's a perfect time for a GQ article to come out with him quoting his reaction when Daniel Jones was drafted by the Giants. So, if you don't know, Daniel Jones is the new quarterback for the Giants. He played last week. He played rather well. We'll get there in a minute. But it was kind of a surprise. No one thought that Daniel Jones was going to go number 6 overall in the draft. And Mayfield actually said, according to GQ, and Mayfield's denied this, but here's what GQ has. "I can't believe the Giants took Daniel Jones. Blows my mind. Some people overthink it. That's where you go wrong. You forget you've got to win. Either you have a history of winning and being that guy for your team, or you don't. So it's kind of a slam, right?
A little bit.
So, Mayfield, as we said, has struggled. And I would like to point out that the first game Daniel Jones had last week, he went 23 of 36 for 336 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 touchdowns rushing, and rallied his team from 18 points down to win against Tampa 32-31. So, Baker, maybe you shouldn't be talking. I don't
know. It sounds like he might have a winning history in the NFL at this point.
Who, Baker?
No, not Baker.
I was going to say. One game does not a season make. I understand.
I'm just saying he won. He hasn't lost any games, right?
He hasn't lost any games. And Baker's 1-2. I'm not sure you go to 1-2 quarterback and ask him what he thinks of somebody drafting a quarterback. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering, Dennis, if Cleveland is now thinking about Minshew, the gardener of good and evil. Maybe they wish they had him as a quarterback.
How dare you!
I tell you what, I'm not a big Baker Mayfield fan at all, but he did have another quote that I liked earlier this week where they were talking about people talking about how they're not playing well and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know what? They're not in the orange and brown. What they say doesn't matter. We're focused on us and what we do.
That was, Ryan had said, I think Ryan was asked what he thought of so far, and he probably was honest and said, I don't think you're doing a very good job, and he got mad. Yeah, I understand.
See, I just think that quarterbacks, you should stop flapping your gums until you've got a ring on your finger, to be honest. Because until you've got a ring on your finger,
he's married.
You know nobody.
I want to go back. I want to go back to Mark and his Minshew. What was the title, Mark?
Minshew, the gardener of good and evil.
Oh yeah, little Minshew. Little Minshew mention. Baker could be a sidekick to him in this video too. I'm just saying.
Baker and Minshew could redo Starsky and Hutch.
Oh my God, they're cops.
It would be perfect. Yeah, yes. Baker as the what's
Beaver?
his name?
No.
Well, in the other movie, which I liked, it was I can't remember their name. Owen Wilson and Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Baker playing the Ben Stiller part, and then Minshew would be the Owen Wilson.
Nice.
Whichever was Starsky, whichever was Hutch, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
That music is reminding me of a 70s film called Manchu, but that was a very different film.
Oh goodness.
Oh man.
Nice.
Did you guys see Uncle Rico met Minshew?
Did not see that.
There's a picture with the Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite with Gardner Minshew.
Very cool. Very cool. And finally, Will sent us this story. I have to share it. Will said, I'm sending you a story for news. So, Will, this one's for you. A win wasn't the only thing the Chicago Bears pulled out Monday night.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The Bears have become known for their post-game celebrations in the past year, with Coach Matt Nagy turning the locker room into Club Dub after every victory. For a moment after their rout of Washington, Club Dub turned into a strip club because running back Tariq Cohen went on Instagram Live after the game ended from inside the locker room. And the 5'6" star, he's not very tall, appeared propped at the phone on the floor, fitting his entire body within the screen as he celebrated, which is, that's nice. That's neat to see that stuff at the end. Here's the problem. He wasn't the only Bear entering the frame. Offensive lineman Kyle Long, aptly named, happened to be changing in full view of the camera directly behind Cohen was standing, and nothing was left to the imagination, as you can imagine, on live Instagram for a good 10 seconds.
Oh, it's on live Instagram?
His manhood was in full view of over 223,000 Instagram followers.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Cohen quickly pulled the video offline, but not before plenty of Twitter users were able to get their hands on it, so to speak. And
oh, God.
The aptly named Kyle Long has been getting a lot of ribbing from everyone, so we'll just the Bears locker room, I guess Kyle can be another sidekick to Minshew. I don't know. The long arm of the law. I think it's happening.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
It's getting
I think on that note, on that very long note, we'll end the first quarter.
Yeah, I think Rotten Tomatoes gave him a 7.4. So
oh goodness.
Good night, everybody. All right.
first quarter, bitches.
Yes, the end of the first quarter. I think that's a really good spot. Coming up on this double edition of 12 Man Fan Jam Show, hey, football. Halftime trivia. Double the predictions. But next, we'll take a look back at Sunday's Saints game in our Posse Prediction Challenge. We have to. We'll do that right after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Hey, welcome to the second quarter of episode 709 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. It is the second quarter. Time to look back, unfortunately, at the Seahawks and Saints game. The Seahawks lose to the Saints 33-27 at home. Matt was a little perturbed. Matt, you want to talk a little bit about your thoughts on this game?
Let's just do some stats, right, folks? Let's do some stats, okay? I'm going to read some things out, right? First downs. The Saints had 15, we had 26, right? Total plays. Saints had 50, we had 76. Total yards. Saints had 265, we had 514, right? So do any of these stats so far resemble a scoreline of 33-27? Total drives, they had 9, we had 13. Yards per play, we had 6.8 yards per play, they had 5.3. Passing yards, 406, of which I think Tyler Lockett got 154. Should definitely get a game ball in my opinion, not just because I picked him. Rushing, 108 yards, they got 88. Red zone, 4 out of 5, there's 2 out of 2. Penalties, right? We even won on penalties. 7 penalties for 53 yards against the Seahawks, 11 penalties, 70 yards against the Saints. We had the ball longer than they did. The only thing that went terribly wrong for us was some crap coaching calls, of which Pete Carroll has at least put his hand up and said, it's my fault, and 3 defensive or special team touchdowns for the Saints, and not being able to score in the second and third quarter. I'm over this game. I'm done. I'm out.
Okay. Thanks for coming, Matt.
Thanks. Cheers. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Tell us how you really feel. No,
I'm just pissed, man.
Yeah,
those numbers do not represent a game like that.
Well, really. And yeah, I kind of agree with you, but like many times we have done on the other side of that, you just point at the scoreboard and go, well, yeah, but look at the score. Dustin, your thoughts of this game?
Yeah, so last night Felix Hernandez.
Yeah,
I'll talk about this game.
I was like, yes. No.
I wanted to avoid the topic.
Yeah, I gotcha.
No, there's really only 2 things really that stood out to me. One was Russell Wilson's stat line. If Russell Wilson's throwing for over 400 yards, and that's a problem for us because it means the offense is unbalanced and we're going away from what we normally do. Him having great fantasy stats is typically a recipe for us to not succeed.
Well, and didn't we just have that with the redheaded soulless guy, Dalton, in the first game? He threw for 4 something, and we're like, yeah, when you throw for 400, you don't usually win.
Yeah, right. Same deal. And then the next thing is, man, the fumbles. We got to figure that out. Got to figure out the fumbles. That's killer, and that's a tenet of Pete Carroll's whole philosophy is protect the ball. Keep putting it on the ground and turning it over. And this time, unfortunately, it resulted in a touchdown when they picked it up, and the referees decided this game to not blow the whistle.
Which was the right move? No, which was the right move. They should not have blown that whistle.
Yeah, but every other Saints game they do.
No, but they shouldn't have blown it. Yeah, but they should have blown it when they did. And the other Saints game, they should not have blown the whistle. On this, I agree with them. They'll blow the whistle, let the play go out, and then make the call, and then reverse. They did
it the right way. The problem is they always do it wrong in the other Saints.
Yeah, I know. The one time they do it right, it's against us. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll had not a great game. It's not your day whenever in warm-ups you have to get stitches.
Yeah. A bad sign when you get popped in the nose of the football. That's.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say. There was just a lot of nonsense. Like they were out of position a ton when they're trying to tackle. And Kamara had 25 broken tackles in one game.
Unreal. That's and maybe,
I can't even do that.
I think we have to. I think looking back, I was upset at the time, but I'm thinking that maybe we need to give that guy a little bit more credit because he is an amazing running back.
Yes and no. No, I watched the game again today, actually. We had some stuff going on in the backyard. They're building a deck, so I had to come home and meet the project manager and talk about that. Then afterwards, I watched the game again.
Yeah.
And I found myself just keying in on watching all these broken tackles. and they were always out of position. They were like 2 steps to the right, 2 steps to the left,
Yeah.
not in the right spot.
Yeah.
It was you can give credit to Kamara all day, but we did not break down and get in the right position.
We didn't help
for
ourselves.
tackles.
Yeah, that's a good point. Zordy?
It's frustrating all the way around.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I thought Pete's pregame injury, the nose thing, was appropriate because he went on to coach like Marsha Brady. So, there's the bet.
Wait a minute. Say it again. Marsha Brady. All right, there it is.
Yeah.
Mom always said don't play ball in the house. No.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's another great one. Wow. This game was just bizarre. I mean, the punt return looked like something they ran in practice where he catches it and he kind of does a stutter step in place and then he runs through the special teams, which is just instructed to just kind of like, allow him to pass, and that's what happened in the game. That looked like a practice like punt return.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did.
Like the guys fill their lanes, but they're not going to tackle them, and holy cow! And then the Carson fumble was just it's weird. You almost were waiting for it to be like, no, he blew the whistle or something because nobody reacted to it.
No, let's take that back. Everyone on the Saints reacted to it. Nobody in Seattle reacted to it. The whole team in Seattle or Saints got up and ran with that thing. And I'm like, were there any blue jerseys at all? They're even going to try.
Yeah, no, and they were busy.
Yeah,
and here, you and I texted some during the game, and I thought, okay, second half they're going to find a way. They just can't go down like this. And then it was 27-7, I think, at a point, and then it was like, well, then I think this is done. I did not see this trap game happening, but it just felt like the guys, including Pete himself, they celebrated Pete's birthday all week in Seattle. It just seemed like none of them were just into this game, and it just caught me off guard.
I think it's interesting.
Him off guard too.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you brought up Marsha Brady because are they not redoing the Brady Bunch house right now as we speak?
Oh, and, Property Brothers.
Yeah, on the cast, which would include Marsha Brady. And that house is in LA, right?
Yeah, it's right off. Yes, and in fact, it's right off. I think 101. It's right off the freeway in the valley. It's near Studio City.
If I'm not mistaken, Pete used to live in LA.
There you go.
All right. We'll have to make sure Barton was wearing his jersey and not Peter Brady. Peter Brady's out there throwing the ball, hitting him in the nose like Marsha. All right. My thoughts. First off, a couple of silly things. I love the play calling to Schottenheimer, and I'm saying this because we are 7 for 8 in the end zone. We are in the red zone. In 8 times we've been in the red zone. We have 7 touchdowns. That's extremely good. So I like that, and I like a lot of his calls. But I don't understand the 4th and 1 call where they threw the ball. And I thought, why? If you're going for it, I agree with that. But why are you as Bear Bryant said, 2 things can happen when you throw the ball, or 3 things can happen. 2 of them are bad, and you're 4th and 1. And I felt it was forced, and and they were like going for 20 yards. I'm like, you just need a yard. It's one of those things where if you can't make this, then you're not a playoff team. Go out there and run the ball for a yard.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but they did that earlier in the game with Chris Carson, and he got stuffed like a yard and a half behind the line of scrimmage, right?
They can run, but he went straight ahead. Can they not go right or left?
I mean, they could.
So I don't know. Anyway, I'm not second guessing that. I am second guessing one of the strangest things I heard during the game was Chris Carson kept slipping, and he kept slipping, and he kept slipping. So then the lady comes on and she says, I'm reporting that Chris Carson did indeed change his cleats, but they're the same cleats. Like, he changed his cleats into the exact same type of cleats he was wearing. So he changed his cleats, but it didn't change how big the cleat were on him. Like, it's the exact same pair, just a brand new pair. And I'm like, that's not good. And sure enough, he slipped. I'm like, okay, you're going to change cleats. Why would you just change cleats and not the depth of the cleat themselves? I don't understand that. I thought that was
there was a certain sense. It was strange how the elements worked against us while we were playing a dome team with a backup.
We are in Seattle. Exactly. It looked like the other way around.
See, what I think they should have done, if you notice, those cleats were taped to his ankle.
Yeah.
That's something you do. It's like a quick tape job you can do to help support the ankle, allow him to get back in there and play quick. Now, if he's slipping around, the surface area of the tape is probably causing an issue with the bottom of the cleat. What I would have done is taken his cleats off, taped his ankle up on the skin, and then put the cleats back on, and I bet that would help resolve the issue.
Yeah, it might have. Anyway, I just know we look like the team that couldn't play outside, and they didn't. And the final thing I'm going to say is the game started well, not just score wise, but psychologically. We had Bridgewater was flustered. The offense was offsides, they were jumping, they were moving. We had the crowd was in it. We had that team on 3rd and 3 became like a 3rd and 13, if you remember, early in the game. We had them on the rope psychologically, and what do? You give up a punt return touchdown. You give them 13 free points. Now they feel like they can win this game. And the entire complexion of the game and the entire complexion of the Saints, more importantly on offense, completely changed because they looked lost that first series or two. They looked like, oh my God, what are we going to do? This crowd and the defense and all that. And after those two scores that had nothing to do with them, their complexion changed. And all of a sudden, let's play Saints football. And we were in trouble because this team, with or without Drew Brees, has been a Super Bowl contender the last 2 years. So this is no easy out for anybody, even without Brees.
Do you on another point, do we think Carson can be fixed?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, it's way too soon. It's frustrating as heck, but, But the other thing, too, really quick, is that I thought it seemed like Wilson was, in a pretty good rhythm, and it seemed like they took the ball out of his hands and it was like forcing the run. Just, I don't know.
I'm not so sure about Carson because now that he's developed fumbleitis, a lot of times that gets in your head. And if you're focused, and this happened to Kristen Michael too. Remember, he was a fumbler for a little bit there. And then when he got the fumble issue resolved, he wasn't as explosive when he ran. So if you're so focused on protecting the ball that you can't make your explosive plays, that's a problem in itself.
I think time's going to tell.
Yeah,
straight up. I mean, we're having this discussion a year from now, then, there's a problem. But I think time's going to tell. I think I was upset. Honestly, I was upset after the second fumble he didn't go out there because you got to get back on that horse as soon as possible. And they took him out. And I know why they took him out. A bit Precise in, who, we rode the Precise train. He did all right. Yeah. But they got to get him back out there. I know 2 fumbles, but man, you got to get him back on that horse, or psychologically, it's going to fester.
3 fumbles. He's fumbled every game.
3 fumbles, every game.
But to that game, it was the second one, yeah. So anyway,
I thought just to also add, I thought our tackling against
Kamara
was just what did we forget how to do it?
It was atrocious. Like I was saying, they weren't breaking down. They were a step to the right or a step to the left. They're out of position, and they kept trying to tackle with their arms. Hell, Bradley McDougald on the last possession of the Saints in the first half, he went flying at Kamara, bounced off his chest, and then fell on the ground. This dude has no business. Kamara's way bigger than him.
Has no business
tackling high. He should have been diving at his ankles and wrapping up. It was just poor tackling.
It was. But let's please give the Saints a little credit here. I mean, they are a Super Bowl contender for their 3rd straight year, with or without Brees. This is a really good football team. They saw blood in the water when they're up 13-0, and they did what good teams do. They capitalized on their momentum, and that got their offense going, and that's the reason they won the game. I mean, again, like I said with the Bengals game, there are no gifts. You have to earn it. They had to cause that fumble. They had to score. They had to have that punt return. They had to execute that. They still had to get those, what you call gimmies. They still had to have them. And once they did, they turned them into something. I mean, they could have gone up 13-0 and died, but they didn't. And
yes and no, especially on that punt return, dude.
Yeah.
They were just slipping and sliding all over. Nobody even touched that dude.
No.
I'm being harsh.
There's nothing the Saints did to make that good. We had a shitty punt, and then we didn't.
I disagree, because he caught the ball on a full speed sprint, which is exactly what you want to do. That was a Saint player doing that.
That part was. I mean, I give him credit for not dropping the ball.
He was making them miss. So, no, I disagree. There's no gimmies. They had to do it still, and they did. So, hats off to them. They won the game. Fair and square.
It
was fair and square. No doubt about that.
The thing, and of course, I wrote this in our little chat or group chat thing. But did you guys? Was it not beautiful that among the mishaps and bonehead plays in this game was Tedrick Thompson coming out on the field?
Oh God!
My God!
To celebrate what did we recover?
My God!
We recovered. It was a punt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a punt. And
when we got flagged, that was Tedrick Thompson.
Yeah,
the
isn't that
penalty,
great?
Dude. That is absolutely freaking perfect.
Yeah.
For this game that he came out not even dressed, not even playing, and he gets a penalty. That sums up this game perfectly.
I think it might sum up our season, unfortunately, because one thing that is on this team, this is a young team.
Yeah.
And they're going to do silly things, and they're going to do a lot more silly things as the year goes on, but they're also going to play very well, and we certainly hope so.
I couldn't help but smile when I found that out. I just had to laugh at that one.
All right, let's go ahead and go 2-minute warning and go our Prosy prediction challenge.
Holy shit, it's a 2-minute warning.
All right, not a whole lot to report here. First for the scores, the closest was Tom. He had 30-24 Seattle. It was 27-33. That's pretty good. I gave him a point. Prognostication, Statsman Mark, you got your touchdown from Disley. You got like that. Nobody for the game ball. They lost. We don't give game balls to losers. Over and under was over a point to Tom, Little Mo, Dustin, Statsman Mark. Which means the scores look like this for week 3 individually. Tom had 2 points. Statsman Mark had 2 points.
Woo.
Little Mo had a point. And Dustin had a point. So overall scores, Mike Pascal 4. Tom 4. Statsman Mark at the leader 4.
What?
Yeah. Jose at 3. Mark Ty Turner 3. Matt at 3. Dustin 2. Little Mo 2. Will 1. And Moses isn't even on the scoreboard.
What?
As we go to the team scores going after 3 games, Team 12 15, Team Posse 10. We held our water this game. It was 3-3. We didn't fall behind these guys. We're only 5 behind. We got 2 weeks of scores coming up in the second half. I know that we can catch these guys. I know it. I just know it. It's going to happen. So let's do that. Let's get to halftime.
There's a first time for everything.
There's a first time for everything. Let's do it.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
All right, coming up so much more show. Are there Cardinals in Arizona? Is Disco Friday a new thing because of Techno Thursday? And is anyone afraid of a 5-inch Finch? All these answers and more just around the corner. But first, another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And that's coming up next.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, man. Welcome to another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
of the world.
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants are the posse themselves, Dustin, Statsman, Mark, and Matt. And here are the rules. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-Man Fan Jam Show Trivia Champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. All right, you know the rules, gentlemen. You can ask the kids once the first 2 rounds. The first round of questions will involve the Cardinals. The second round involve the Rams. And, of course, there's always one question there that's just a little odd. So, speaking of odd, last week's champion, I believe, was Dustin. Dustin, 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. Matt, 1 or 2?
2, please.
And Mark gets number 1. You guys ready?
See,
I don't care.
Yes,
I don't care.
yes.
I I don't care if you are or not. Here it comes. All right. Mark, you have a football question. When the Seahawks and Cardinals tied in Arizona back in 2016, 6-6. Remember that lovely game? Oh, my God. How many times did the Seahawks sack Carson Palmer? How many times did they cast Chris Carson? No. How many times
Zero.
did the Seahawks cast
Zero.
Carson Palmer?
Question.
2, 3, or 4? Dance!
Wow, 2, 3, or 4. You know what? I'm already going to ask the kids on this.
Wow. Well, they both said 3.
Okay, well.
All right, that didn't do any good, so let me do something else.
No, not at all. I was going to say, it takes a man to admit when kids are smarter than he is, and I think that's the case here. So I'll go with the kids in 3.
All right, he's going with 3. The kids went with 3. Mark went with 3. The Seahawks.
Oh,
they went with 4. So Mark, 4 times they sacked Chris Carson Palmer. All right, Matt.
Hello.
Yours is not a football question.
Okay.
It's about the state of Arizona. I did not know this, but there are actually 2 official state colors of the state of Arizona. They're officials. Yeah. 2 state colors. Are they?
Be colors.
So what are the 2 colors of the 2 official state colors of Arizona?
Right. Okay.
Are they blue and red? Are they blue and yellow? Or are they red and yellow?
I will
official
ask
colors.
the kids because they may have some sort of college of knowledge.
College of knowledge. It's the college of knowledge. Well, Mosette said blue and red, and Little Mo said red and yellow, and nobody said blue and yellow.
Well, I'll go red and yellow.
You'll go red and yellow. You're going with Little Mo.
Oh shit. Yeah. It.
That's my boy you're talking about.
I know.
Yeah, he's wrong.
Of course he's wrong.
Blue and yellow. Neither one of them had it.
Damn
Blue
it
and
all to
yellow.
hell.
Yeah. Dustin, hi.
Hey.
You have a football question.
Oh, cool. I like football.
It's a fun game. I enjoy it quite a lot. When the Seahawks beat the Cardinals in Arizona last season, how long was the game-winning field goal by Sebastian Janikowski? Was it 51, 52, or 53 yards? Seabass kicked the game-winning field goal against the Cardinals. Was it 51, 52, or 53 yards?
Are you sure it wasn't like 35 and he didn't hurt his hamstring?
Positive. And I'm sure he had a drink afterwards.
All right, I'll say 53. That was one of the options, right?
Yeah, 53 was an option. 51, 52, and 53 are what you're dealing with. You said 53.
Sure.
Lil Mo said 53.
Good for him.
Mosette said 52. You said 53. Nah, it's 52.
That's what I said.
All right, so moving on. We're at 0, 0, 0.
Rubbish at this game.
We'll try this again. Dustin, 4, 5, or 6?
Me?
Yeah. No, the other Dustin.
Still 6.
Dustin is still at 6. All right. Mark, 4 or 5.
We'll do number 5.
And Matt, you're doing number 4.
I have number 9.
Which Matt? I don't know. Hey, Matt.
Hey.
You have a football. Yeah, you're Matt.
Yes.
Hey, when last time the Seahawks beat the Rams in Seattle, it was 2016. How many times did the Seahawks sack Jared Goff in that game? 2, 3, or 4? Jared Goff got sacked how many times by the Seahawks in 2016? 2, 3, or 4?
Ooh, I can't ask the kids now. I have to be honest. I can't genuinely remember.
Yeah.
I'll go. We sacked him 4. That was an answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4 wasn't 2, 3, and 4. You're going 4?
I was 4. Well, let's be optimistic. We sacked him 4
Let's
times.
be optimistic. It's funny you said it because you couldn't ask the kids, but Little Mo and Mosette also said 4. And you said 4. And you said 4.
Flippin' heck.
Lies.
Matt's on the board.
Amazing.
Matt's on the board with a point. Mark.
See.
Your question is about Los Angeles.
Hey, I lived there for a year.
You'll know this time. Who was the first person to receive a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood? Was it Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, or Joanne Woodward? First star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood: Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, or Joanne Woodward?
Wow, those are actually. I thought the names would have gone way before that crew.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry, Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, or Joanne Woodward. That crew.
Or or what was the last one?
Joanne Woodward.
Wouldn't you like the athletic director at UW?
I don't know. The only way she would get on the Walk of Fame is if she slept with Sinatra. So.
Yikes.
Now let's see.
Same with Gene Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in that spirit, we're going Gene Kelly.
You're going with Gene Kelly for that. All right.
Yep.
Little Mo said Frank Sinatra. Who? He also said that.
Wow.
And then Mosette said, she said Joanne Woodward. You said Gene Kelly. Now, it was Joanne Woodward, 1960. First star on the Hall of Fame was Joanne Woodward. No one would ever get it. I think it's 60 or something like that. It was not.
I'm going to need some background. Who is this person?
She's famous. Hey, Dustin.
Was she married to Paul Newman?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, but I didn't realize. I thought the Hollywood Walk of Fame went way before 19, but it doesn't matter.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
Bless
you, Matt.
Yeah, bless you, Matt. Hey, the first
wipe off your mic, dude.
Sorry.
That's not the first time he's heard that.
No.
Hey,
is this thing on?
The first time the Seahawks beat the Rams in Seattle was 1991.
Okay.
Who had the most catches for the Seahawks in that game? Was it Brian Blades, Jeff Chadwick, or Tommy Kane? Who had the most catches for Seattle in 1991? Brian Blades, Jeff Chadwick, or Tommy Kane? First time the Seahawks beat the Rams in Seattle.
Well, I like Brian Blades much more than Benny,
too.
So I'll go with Brian.
I do too. I got a break. Did you like my Brian Blades story real quick?
Sure.
He was in Cincinnati, and I was getting autographs, and he was all dressed up, and he said, "Hey, let me put my stuff on the bus, and I'll come back." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll never see you again, right?" Mm-hmm. So I'm getting player sign autograph. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. It's Brian Blades. You got something for me to sign? I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, you came back." He's like, "Yeah, I came back."
Nice.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I also got an autograph of his at a game when I was a kid.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. My grandma gave me my ticket and had me walk it down to the sideline, and he came over and signed it. It's pretty cool of him.
Very cool. Dude. Very cool. You said Brian Blades is what we're getting at here.
Yeah, I think so.
And Mosette said Jeff Chadwick, and Lamo said Tommy Kane, but you said Brian Blades, and you're right.
Woohoo!
Dustin and Matt are on the board. But Mark, you don't have any points, but don't worry. And do you know why? Time for the final question.
D.
Question.
Final question. Closest without going over.
Yeah.
Wins. Well, we'll win because there'll be no overtime. We'll be 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion for this week. The order will go Mark, Dustin, Matt.
Ooh.
Oh. All right, Mark, here is your final question. When the Seahawks and the Cardinals tied back in that wonderful game in 2016 again, I just love reliving that game, don't I?
Jeez.
How many rushing yards did Kristen Michael have for the Seahawks? He was the leading rusher. Kristen Michael.
Before he fumbled.
Yeah, how many yards did Kristen Michael have in that game rushing for the Seahawks? Mark.
Wow. Golly. Is that guy even in the league?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway. That's right, he was driving the meat truck. It's funny how those guys end up that way. Let's see. Oh, boy, I have no idea. So, for the sake of keeping the show moving, I'm going to say 48 yards.
48. Dustin, how many yards for Kristen Michael in 2016?
Like the whole season?
No, just the game against the Cardinals where we tied.
And he said 48?
He said 48.
Like Super Bowl 48. That might be lucky.
Ooh.
Where's that tiki thing now?
So okay, hold on. Super Bowl 48.
Oh.
All right, there you go. Are you happy? Now give me a number.
Nah, because I'll be happy if I win, so probably not.
All right.
I have absolutely no idea. I'll say like 56.
56. Matt, 48, 56. How many yards did Kristen Michael have for the Seahawks in 2016 against the Cardinals?
I'm gonna go Super Bowl 49.
He went Super Bowl 49. That's Super Bowl numbers. All right. 48 and 49.
Which incidentally was the same number of fumbles in that game.
What I've gathered here is that we have not a lot of faith in Christian Michael.
Well, guess what? The number of yards that Christian Michael had in that game, that legendary 6-6 tie with the Cardinals in 2016, rushing the ball, Christian Michael had 52.
Oh,
That's right.
I'll take it.
Oh,
Wow.
Matt, welcome back, buddy.
Oh,
Very
my
much.
goodness.
I'm gonna sneeze now. Hold on.
Wow.
Do it.
He's
Let
that
it out.
excited.
Sneeze, buddy. You earned it.
I'm fine. Thank you very much, everyone. I've
Order
ordered
your
a trophy
trophy.
and a new set of lungs.
Order your trophy and order some tissue.
Thanks.
Excellent. Well done, everybody. It was another heart-pounding, award-winning, stomach-stopping, sneezing edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. We'll be right back. We got 2 games to predict in the second half. We start with the Cardinals, and that's the third quarter. Sex Pistols, take us out.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
All right, it is the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Usually we do info for the upcoming game, but we have games to talk about because there will be 2 games between this recording of this show and the next show. So we do the game coming up on third quarter, and fourth quarter we'll do the game after that. So it's a rather difficult fourth quarter because they haven't played before that game. But we do this every year, so we're used to it. We suck anyway, so it doesn't matter. Cardinals in Arizona. The Seahawks go to Arizona. 1:05 Pacific time, Seattle time start. 4:05 if you're on the West Coast. Matt, what is that for you in England? Like
9:05 p.m.
Yeah, like 1984 or something. So, real quick, Dustin, any quick injuries we should know about this game? Any quick returns?
There's 4 players that are questionable. All are expected to play.
Good.
We got Quinn Jefferson, Nico Thorpe, Rashad Penny. They're all expected to play. Ziggy Ansah is expected to play, but if you watched the game last week, that didn't seem to matter.
Well, but are you saying there's a chance that we might be getting Ziggy with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting Ziggy with it?
Yeah. We tried to last week, but I didn't
Getting
notice
Ziggy with it?
Yeah.
Sorry. I sound just like Will Smith.
Hopefully it happens this week. I don't know, man. He
Yeah.
didn't really show.
No.
Then Posick is doubtful. Not really a thing we need to worry about. For the Cardinals, out for sure is one of their starting receivers, Demir Bird. He is not going to play. They have a safety, Charles Washington, also not playing. And then this is kind of interesting. They have a punter. They do have a punter. It is their punter.
That's not interesting. That's probably the hardest working man in show business.
Yeah,
There's
and,
a Cardinal
he's
punter.
questionable. They're not sure if he's going to play or not. So that's kind of interesting. But that's kind of the noticeable injuries there.
Yeah, he's an 89-year-old walk-on from Florida, and he moved to Arizona. Sorry.
They got to get the right cleats on the bottom of his walker so he can punt.
There you go.
Got a game from the mall. Hey, so you told me there's a guy named Bird?
Yep.
Is that what you said? So apparently then, I guess, Bird is not
There
the
you
word.
go.
There it is.
Bird is not the word this week for Carolina, for the Cardinals.
Nope.
All right. There you go, folks. All right. If you could see the video I'm seeing right now. And real quick, before we do predictions, I want to bring this up. We would be remiss if we did not mention that over the week, Nick Vannett was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 5th rounder.
That's
we wish
right.
him the best.
Right.
But more importantly, Luke Wilson is back. And
Yep.
Luke brings something with him known as Techno Thursdays.
It's a very special day.
It is. But what's more special is we record this show on a Friday. And last year we decided when Luke had his Techno Thursdays that we would have our Disco Fridays. That's right, baby. Disco Friday right here on the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Shake it.
I'm shaking.
Oh, yeah.
Shake your groove
The
thing.
Tramps, aptly named. Disco Inferno.
Yes.
Disco Friday, baby. Burn, baby, burn. All right. So as we're burning our Disco Friday, we will look at the predictions first from Team 12. Jose says 33-23 Seahawks. Prognostication, Russ throws for 300 yards. Game ball to DK Metcalf. Tom says, for Sunday's game against the Cards, I think the defense has something to prove after last week's performance. Score 38-20 Seahawks. Seattle will force 3 turnovers. Game ball to Tyler the Rocket Lockett. Little Mo, it says 34-13, and he is firmly on the Carson wagon. He says Carson 100 rushing yards, and Carson is a game ball, and he says, hey, stop hating on Chris Carson, y'all. So Little Mo had said, stop your Chris Carson hating. Mark Ty Turner, Hawks win 30-20. Penny with the game ball. He'll actually play this week, and he thinks that Shaq Griffin will pick off Tyler Murray. Mike Pascal has the Hawks winning 23-17. Prognostication, Clowney 2 sacks. Game ball, Disley. Team Posse, Will 24-20 Seahawks. Prognostication, Carson 100 yards. By the way, also on the side, this doesn't count, but he said he'll also have a TD and no fumble. And his game ball is to Carson for getting his shit back together. Which is a direct quote from Matt from Will. Matt, hello.
Hello.
What you got for us?
So first and foremost, can I just thank everybody for their support with the Pud in the Hood segment?
Yes.
From as just to let all listeners know, I'm a bit of a baker. My game fan name is Pudding Hawk, and I bake a lot of puddings. And the last time we played away, I made a shoe fly pie for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it went down very well. It was very tasty. Actually, it was very good with cream. Very nice. So thank you for all the support. This week, because we're away in Arizona, I've picked Sopa PS. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Sopa PS, I think they're called. But
That's
they're fried sweetbreads. So and flatbreads that are going to be fried. So we're going to have a go at those tomorrow.
Awesome. And we'll be returning that when we're on the road and we have a regular show. You'll be having that with your weather report. But yes.
Oh, yes, and weather. Speaking of weather for this game,
Yes,
obviously
please.
a very important factor of this game because it's a bloody dome.
Yeah.
So there's no weather. And
What
doesn't
about
matter
fashion?
what you wear.
Any fashion?
Well, basically wear what you like. To be frankly honest, it's Arizona. You'll fit in with everyone else anyway.
Especially if you wear Seahawks jerseys.
Fans, hardly any Arizona fans anyway.
Good call.
Right. Score wise, I'm going to go for 27 Hawks, 20 Arizona.
27-20. Gotcha.
I'm going to go. Well, last week we got 108 yards rushing, didn't we? I'm going to go for 120 plus yards rushing. I'm not going to give an exact number. It's going to be more than 120 yards though.
Okay.
That's my prognostication.
Gotcha.
Game ball. I'm going to give it to Carson. I'm going to go a little Mo on this. I think he's going to get his shit together.
Leave our
That's Carson, not
alone.
little Mo.
Leave our Carson alone. Well, they both have a little work to do. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Statsman Mark. Thank you. Man.
Yes.
Statsman Mark, you got any quick teasers for us before we get your prediction?
Well, I'm just going to read these off very quickly. We are going to go for our 5 picks as if I were in a professional contest, and it's a good thing I'm not. But anyway, here we are. I'm going to go Dallas on the road in New Orleans. I'm going to go Dallas -2.5. Baltimore hosting Baker Mayfield. I'm going to take Baltimore -6.5. KC is in Detroit. Too much for Detroit. KC -6.5. Chicago is going to beat Kirk Cousins. Can't trust him on the road. Chicago -2, and our very own Seahawks will cover a 5-point spread. The over/under on that game is 48.5.
Thank you. Well done. Wow. Nice.
Yes. I don't think I've ever thought any quicker than 30 seconds. Right
I can imagine the smoke coming out the back
That
of his
was
head
amazing.
right now.
Oh yeah, the rest of it, huh? I love it. There I go. No prediction. What we're gonna do? I don't think I've ever made a more bolder prediction when I say Chris Carson will not fumble
Oh, that's
in
harsh.
this game. That is my prognostication.
Are you serious?
Can I get away with that or no? Is that too
I'm
much
going
like
to
Team
allow
12?
it because of the habit.
Yes.
Because it's funny. Just this
Carson,
once.
no fumble. Just this one time.
Just this one time. Carson, no fumble. I'm going to give a game ball. This guy's been killing it for me in fantasy. No one else drafted him. Will Disley gets my game ball.
Nice.
Oh, and we're going to win 31-20. There you go.
Thank you. There you go. Yeah, just this one time. That's pretty good, though. Dustin,
Yeah.
how are you?
Well, I was good until I heard what everybody else said, and now everything I had planned on saying is just repetitive. So I was also going to say Chris Carson, no fumbles is a prognostication, and
No
he
way.
gets the ball for that.
I'll go with
But
it.
I feel like I shouldn't do that now because everybody else, I think, on the show pretty much said something similar. So,
No, you can go with it.
You can go with it. We need the points.
Carson, no fumble. I'm on it.
all right. And then he'll get a game ball just sheerly for not turning the ball over.
Okay.
And if nothing else, I guess we'll match the other team. So
what's the score?
27-10 Seahawks.
Okay. All right, that worked. Just this one time, though, guys. Okay.
All right.
All right, my turn. The Seahawks traveled to the land of cactus, scorpions, and old men in Speedo World this weekend as they head to Arizona. Yes, Arizona, where you can tell it's fall when the people put the top back up on their convertibles and the wolves hunt sheep to make wool sweaters. The Cardinals, and are there actually Cardinals in Arizona? I'd really like to know, are led by this year by Tyler Murray, the man with 2 last names, which is fitting because last is where he'll spend most of his career if he stays with the Cardinals. Let's face it. Tyler Murray, Bill Murray, and Murray.
It's Kyler.
Is it Kyler?
Yeah.
I don't care. It's still a last name. Kyler Murray, Bill Murray, and Murray. It doesn't matter. No one can help this franchise out of NFL purgatory. And like Anne Murray sings so many times beautifully, you have to take those tiny wings and fly away, because those Cardinal wings are truly broken. And the only place they're going to fly is to a better team in free agency if you're lucky. So watch my game ball. Uncle Will catch a touchdown. That's my prognostication. Watch the fall of the 5-inch Finch as they are broken again by a score of Seattle 34, Arizona 5-inch Finches 20. Book it. Tyler, I don't care if it's Myler. He's going to lose. And that's the end of the third quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up next, we have to do the Rams game for Thursday night football. You're listening to 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Double the pleasure, double the pain, double the show at no extra charge to you, the listener. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Are we having fun yet?
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
That is awesome.
So are you, my friend. So are you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Love it.
Love you guys. We love their listeners too, don't we? We love our listeners.
We have listeners?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's a lovely fourth quarter, and it's the final episode of this double episode spectacular, where we talk about the Rams and the Cardinals game. We make our predictions for the Rams game because that's coming up Thursday, and we'll have 2 games between this recording and our next recording, so we kind of double up on the predictions. Thursday night at, I believe, 8:20 Eastern time, and that would be 5:20 your time out there, Dustin, correct?
Yes.
And Matt, that's what, 1985?
It's late.
It's late for you guys.
It's a whole different day.
Yeah,
man.
He's got to get in the DeLorean
That
to figure
is
it out.
dedication. That is dedication. Let's go to our predictions for the Rams games. Jose says 23-20 Seahawks. Prognostication the same as the last week, which was Wilson 300 passing yards. Game ball to Myers with the game-winning field goal. If all this actually happens, Mark better give me some tokens so I can go to Vegas.
And wait a minute, did he say RW for
his prognostication?
Oh.
No,
Yeah,
he said
he's kind of finding a way around
That's
the Russell
okay.
Wilson player of the game thing.
well, you can do the prognostications.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Joseing it a little bit.
Okay. We'll let it slide. Tom, I'm a bit worried about the Rams and have a hopefully wrong feeling, but I don't think Seattle wins. Score 24-14 Rams.
Wow.
Wilson sacked 3 times.
Jeez.
And no game ball because nobody will deserve one. And you all suck. Oh, no, that was me.
I'm not buying his next book.
No doubt, man. Tom, shame on you. Little Mo.
I'm sorry. I thought you said that was Mark's. I apologize.
No, it's Tom.
Tom, also, I'm not buying your next book.
You're not buying Tom's next book. Which hopefully is I was wrong about the Rams game. Little Mo.
A memoir.
Little Mo says 38-21 Seattle. And I said, do you have prognostication? He said, can I just say Jared Goff will suck? And I said, well, no. He said, how about he's overpaid? I said, no. He said, we can never stop. He said, we can never stop Gurley. He said, all right, how about this? He said, Goff will have less than 150 yards passing. And I said, okay, because that would be unusual.
I like it.
Yeah, and game ball to not Jared Goff. He said Wagner. And he said, I said game ball. He said, not Jared Goff. He said Wagner, so that's his game ball. Mark Ty awesome. Turner has the Hawks winning 24-17. Game ball to Russ, which we know we cannot do. So, and he says Marcus Peters is going to get kicked out of the game. All right. Mike Pascal.
I like the entertainment value there.
Also picks the Rams winning 27-23. What's wrong with you people? He says, oh, yeah, sorry, I need the points. Yeah, okay. Okay, Mike, you're in first place. He says, I'm happy. I'll be happy if I was wrong. I hope you are. I think we all do. Prognostication, 3 field goals by our kicker and game ball to Lockett. Now for Team Posse, Will has the Seahawks winning 20-16. Prognostication, LJ Collier gets his first sack. Game ball to Wagner. Matt, hello.
Hello.
Matt, do you like Disco Fridays?
I love Disco Fridays. Put Earth, Wind & Fire on. I love it.
Burn, baby, burn.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Ghostbusters.
All right.
That's what they're playing when they have the party at Louis Tully's house in the apartments.
That's like the best disco film, best disco song ever. Matt, you got a score for us?
Well, first and foremost, just to let you know the weather for this game. It looks like, although we are a little bit further ahead, but it's going to be about between 56 Fs and 53 Fs as the course of the game goes on. It's going to be a light wind, humidity. It should be mostly cloudy, not real much chance of rain, just patchy cloud.
And a lot of Fs.
And a lot of Fs.
I hope that's coming from the Ram side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, for my the rest of it, I'm going to go with, I think this is going to be a horrible game. I think it's going to be Seahawks 13.
Oh.
Rams 9.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
It's going to be a hideous game.
Yeah.
I'm going to give... I'm weird. The reason I went, when... who said that so-and-so was being ejected?
Marcus Peters is getting ejected.
My prognostication, and this is true, my prognostication is that someone will be ejected. I didn't say who, but I'm just going to say my prognostication is someone, don't care which side, is going to be ejected from this game.
I think that's fair. That's unusual.
So 9, 13, and Jadavian Clowney. Let's do that one.
All right. Wow, that is an ugly sounding game. Indeed, I can't wait to stay up late for that one. Hey, Statsman Mark.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing, well, I'm not unwell. Thank you.
Oh, good.
No,
nice.
Nice.
You got a score for us?
I do. So in order to beat the Rams somehow, some way, well, actually, usually you don't win a shootout, but in the same way we were shocked in the Saint game, we're going to beat the Rams in a high-scoring game, 31-27.
Okay.
Or high-scoring enough. And for the second game in a row,
high-scoring
Carson
for us.
will not fumble. No, I'm kidding.
No.
No, let's see. For a prognostication, we are going to pick off Kyler Murray twice, so he will throw 2 picks.
Which will be amazing because we're playing the Rams.
We can fix that in post. Okay, well, I meant to say we're gonna pick off. That was such a great lamp moment. We're gonna pick off Goff twice.
Shaquille Griffin gets on a plane. He's headed to Arizona.
Oh, man. The quick thinking and wit was only gonna last so long.
All right, how about Goff 2 interceptions?
So
this is why people listen. This is why people listen to us right here.
And a game ball, I'm going to give it to McDougal. Is he playing?
He didn't last week. I don't know.
He didn't? No.
Yeah, he did. Didn't he?
I mean, he was.
Okay, he played.
I wouldn't call that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Right.
We know our shit on this show. What's we do?
Yeah, we do.
Actually, you know what would be a better prognostication is Tedrick Thompson comes out on the field. No, I won't.
Yeah. The prognostication is that Tedrick comes out on the field legally this game.
Man. Yeah, there you go. No, we'll give it to McDougal.
All right. Dustin. Wow.
Yeah.
You got a prediction for me here?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm recovering.
Yeah.
Seahawks win 21-17.
I think we are.
Tyler Lockett is going to catch the touchdown that puts us ahead to win the game.
Okay.
And because of that, he gets my game ball.
Nice. All right. I like it. That's my turn. So I guess I have to be all scared of the Rams now that they have a coach and a running game and kind of a quarterback. And I guess I should be enamored by the handsome young coach who looks like the next Bachelor on a TV show I never watch. I suppose I should just get on my knees and avert my eyes at the team with the mismatched helmets and uniforms when they come to Seattle and say, oh, please, just don't beat us too badly in our own stadium. Well, guess what? No way. Scared? I'm not scared. Hey, Rams, you want to scare me? Get a ring, baby. Sure, the Rams are a good team, but last time I checked, the Seahawks aren't exactly Arizona. Yeah, I'm picking on Arizona again. Deal with it, Kyler, Tyler, Murray, whoever you are. So I, for one, am not going to crawl into the fetal position and make game predictions where the Seahawks lose because I'm scared of a little Team 12 predictor. Oh, Moses, they're so good. Oh, Moses, they're going to beat the Seahawks. Well, last time I checked, this is a Seahawk positivity channel, and I am not about to stop that.
Here.
Watch my game ball, Jason Myers. Kick the game-winning field goal as time expires. That's my prognostication. Seahawks win a thriller by a score of Seattle Seahawks 31, Los Angeles Rams 20. Book it. Wow. Don't pee in my post toasties.
I honestly thought that you were going to say, having said all that, I'm going to pick the Rams over the Seahawks. But
Perfect.
That would have been awesome. Hey, well, look, it's time to bring this double episode to a full close. We are so glad you decided to waste some time with us. We hope you laughed a little. Yeah, maybe learned a little something along the way. What did we learn? Well, we learned that Matt likes to scream out stats when he's angry. Mark is writing a movie. Dustin hails the king.
I do.
Disco Friday is a thing. Tyler or Kyler Murray, it doesn't matter. We know our shit on this show. And Disco Fridays are back, baby. That's right. So on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our newshound Shadowhawk Will, Statsman Mark, Dustin as the Beaver, Mike Pascal, Roger Goodell, Mark, Ty, Turner, Jose, Tom, Mosette Little Mo, Neil Lomax, Flipper Anderson, Jack Youngblood.
Wow.
This is Moses saying until next time, go Hawks!
Go
Hawks!
Burn, baby, burn.
Hashtag shit show.
Minshew of you.
Because we know our shit on the show.
That's right.